This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. I am your host, Jamie. So what did you think? So what you just heard was my new intro. Just made that. Now, I don't know if you're a repeat listener, watcher. I mentioned I was working on a new intro a couple weeks ago, and that's not it. That I did in like 10 minutes. The other thing I was working on was much more extensive, and we'll see the light of day. I'm not giving up on the project because it's almost complete, but it's funny. I had this whole big idea for this whole thing, and then what you just saw from the Matrix, and like I'm using it in a way in what else I was doing, and I just kept looking and I'm like, there's something there that'll work. So talking with a friend this week and what he's going through got me thinking about loneliness, which I've mentioned on this podcast. He's going through some things, and a man who was rich with love around him not long ago is now sitting alone most hours, and it's a shame. So it kind of got me thinking on a few points that I want to touch on before I got started on the news. The Jordan Peterson legend, if you don't know who he is, just start watching. Look him up on YouTube and start listening.
Because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. Now, what a terrible thing to do that is. I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice. It's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category. And you get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean? It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, be picky. That's your gift, man. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like they're lonesome and they don't know what to do, and everyone piles abuse on them. People have been after me for a long time because I...
And one more from Jordan Peterson.
You act out the things that you would do when you're normal, even when you're depressed. You don't want to see people. Well, it doesn't matter. You go see them because it's better than not seeing them. And you find when you do see them that it's better, it'll go better than you think, but you can't isolate yourself. And you're anxious, and so you want to avoid. You don't want to go out. You'd rather stay home and sit in the chair and just sit there and in a frozen position. It's like you can't do that. You have to go out and go grocery shopping and go out and have coffee and all of those things. It doesn't matter whether you enjoy them. It matters that you do them because that's what you do. That's what you do in order to maintain your health. You act out the things that you would do when you're normal.
That's great. I mean, and I think getting in a rut can be easy, and they've made it so comfortable to be at home. I've been posting videos since December 11th, solo videos, but I got started on the original version of this podcast, I believe in August. And I've not gone out really much since. I've kind of consumed, and also just not in the mood. Because there's not, it's everything is out there, but there's also not a lot out there. I mentioned my friend. He's a Christian man, a good Christian man. I'm a Christian man, and I swear too much. I have too many inappropriate thoughts and You know, sometimes I can be a prick, I'll tell you. But this guy, not so. I mean, like, just generally just radiates his goodness. And I mean, I don't know what's in his heart. You know, I mean, I'm not with him all the time. I mean, I work with the guy, but just seems such a genuine person. And you know, he made a mistake in his marriage, and don't know a lot of details, but it didn't sound like one worth destroying a family over. And that's damn well what happened. Christian wife wasn't so forgiving, and you know, he's not the only man I know with a very similar story. It's just so hard. And my buddy mentioned like something like, because he said the divorce is getting, you know, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, he mentioned something. It'll be, you know, maybe it'll be nice to date someday. I'm like, man, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, nothing's impossible, but I mean, I'm experienced on the dating apps. I've had lots of dates, and it's just so hard to. The difference between the women that I connect with online versus the ones I happen to connect with in person, which is much more rare. It's quite a difference. So I was recently got on a dating app. I don't know if I should say what it is. I mean, somebody should investigate this. I've had good luck on it before. It was kind of my like go-to dating app. And then I got a new phone and whatever. I had to make a new account. And I took a little time off and went back into it and wasn't getting any responses. No likes. It was quite odd. Like, and I looked at my profile, like, because the picture's good. It wasn't like me, because that same profile had worked in the past. I mean, months earlier. And I was like, huh, you know, and I have it filled out, you know, it says, you know, what are you politically, and what are you with your religion? You know, I say Christian, of course, and I say I'm conservative politically. I mean, I suppose that'd be the closest thing, you know, way you could describe me. I don't know, but I looked at that and I'm like, I wonder, with how the world is changing, how I mean, these dating apps and shit like that, it's not run like people like me. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to be like Peter. I'm not going to be like Christ. I'm not going to think that I'm a Christian out there. Let me take off that I'm a conservative. Just take it off. And the results went up. There's not a lot of Christian women. There's not a ton. I mean, there are Christian women on there. You know, it just kind of depends what you're looking for. But going back out into the dating world, like I have multiple friends attempting to do, like myself, I haven't been married, and we're still all picking out the same pool. But generally, where we're at, I mean, I can go into St. Louis. It's a different scene in St. Louis, man. That's a headache, though. You know, I'm in the suburbs. You had women that were convinced that they were unhappy and they deserved better. So they blew up their families, and now it's up to you to sweep them off their feet and make it all worthwhile. And hey, her kids come first. Just sucks. You know, it shouldn't be this way, you know. Peterson is known for the term incel, involuntarily celibate. Incel, involuntarily celibate. There we go. Speaking about young men who are just normal guys, and they've been calmed by society. They don't play sports. You play sports this way. Stay inside. Don't go exercise. We'll make it as comfortable as possible for you. And they don't become real men, and women, they've been told to look for something that's not even really there, and the two never cross paths. And it's unfortunate. And now, I was complaining about the dating app, and I'm not even like, I don't really give a shit. I don't put hardly any effort into it at all. I'm like a voluntarily celibate, volcel, I guess. I mean, I'm not like refusing that, but I want to desire that, honestly. I went to a party not that long ago. And a woman I used to date, actually two of them were there. And they're so empty. I'm looking for something a little bit more. And I'm not going to find it here. I know, I got to go out there to find him. Man, it is difficult out there. And it's just the way our society, cities is different. There's a lot more places where people can go and just chill and hang out, and then you can happen to meet people. Out in the suburbs, it's just it's everything's so commercial. I can go sit at Starbucks, and Redco, and there's a lot more fun things in the cities just to hang out and do. But then when that comes with a whole other mess of things that aren't fun living in the city. I spent a lot of time, not now, not currently, listening to podcasts about how to pick up girls. If you're not the smoothest, it's nice to have a few little kind of go-to things to say and kind of break the ice. It's nice, but even then, you have to approach that kind of stuff with the right frame of mind, because I think you could definitely get caught up in the sport of it for sure, and guys like that, kind of like the pickup artists they call it and stuff like that. And I've heard a lot of guys, and it makes a lot of sense, and it doesn't, that I'm the prize. Men need to walk around with their head down and say, I'm the prize. Women should be fighting for me. Just something on the prize, you already have you, so if you're the prize, then game over, right? Why, the prize to me is the relationship. That's a special thing. It's beautiful. When you can be in love with your best friend, that's a beautiful thing. So if you have that, appreciate it. I had all that I wanted to kind of get off my chest, but I figured let's just do a few bullshit stories. All right, so in the news, Puxa. I don't know what that. I'm not even trying. A little furry thing from Groundhog Day. PETA wants to replace Puxatawny Phil with a giant gold coin for Groundhog Day. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, who otherwise known as lunatics, are hoping to make a giant change this Groundhog Day. Well, you probably should have got started earlier if you were wanting to make a change. In a letter to the Puxatawny Groundhog Club president, Tom Dunkel, PETA President Ingrid Nugent sent a giant gold coin to replace Puxatawny's. So PETA is urging Puxatawny Groundhog Club to send Phil to a reputable sanctuary that will give him the care he needs and not to treat him as wildlife property. PETA are lunatics, but I'm not a big fan of zoos. I think leave animals where they be as much as possible. Now, every year, all this Groundhog Day is about this one thing. I thought they had groundhogs all over the place. I didn't realize it was just a one groundhog. So, are we going to stop talking about it once this thing dies? I'm on PETA's side 100%. Let's put this shit to bed permanently, okay? That was in the 80s. Did we all just start making a big deal about Groundhog Day after that Bill Murray movie came out in the 80s? I was born in 80. I have no idea. I didn't watch that movie until the 90s or later. Yeah. I can't believe I'm agreeing with PETA. Go PETA. I see that Huffington Post, what non-monogamy actually and isn't, according to non-monogamous people. Non-monogamy is practiced in some circles for a long time, but recently there's been more curiosity about the subject. Oh, sounds like people just want to do whatever they want with their genitals, and they're trying to find they want to make it socially acceptable. And throughout history, depending on where you are and at what time, it has been. That's just, it's always been the case, pretty much. For thousands and thousands of years. I'm not even going to dive into this shit, I don't think. Maybe. There are four main types of non-monogamous relationships. Monogamish, swinging, open relate. Oh my god, just shut up. Oh my god, just have your weird sex clubs and your meet and greet. Why did this shit have to come out from the shadows? And for any of you who were into that shit, okay, but wasn't it more spicy when it was something you had to hide? And now you post this shit on Facebook? Isn't the fact that it was wrong and not socially acceptable is what made it more exciting? And now you're just doing it for content on... It's retarded. Another weird article from the Huffington Post. I'm demisexual. Here's what I want you to know. Why? I should have planned this better and just put both articles right back to back, but, you know what? I think I'll cut it. So in addition to the non-monogamous relationship article from Huffington Post, I'm a demisexual. Here's what I want you to know. I don't know why I did that. I was 23 when I finally discovered that there was a word for my experiences and feelings. They pretty much have a prescription for every mood you have. And I would say feelings and moods. How different are those? Is love a mood? Is love a feeling? What is love? I'm not even sure if I've ever been in love. I know I said I have been before. I don't know. Close. We're very close. Can't be sure. Let's find out what this happy couple has to say. Demisexual, which is nothing. It's nothing. Growing up, when friends always talked about a celebrity being hot, I went along with it, but didn't understand how they felt. I've never looked at a famous person, a friend, or a stranger and thought, wow, you're sexy. Not once. I had crushes, sure, but they never had to do with someone's appearance. I thought other people were cute only after I developed feelings for them because of their personality. My friends would gush over the cute guys in school, and I played along. I trusted them entirely, so I figured if they thought these boys were cute, they had to be, right? I never fully understood what it was that was so appealing to them. They were usually nice, but I had no idea why my friends wanted to kiss them. I knew close to nothing about most of them. There was no inkling of sexual physical attraction to people I don't know very well, even after puberty. And that, as an adult, I realized that's exactly what demisexuality is. See, people trying to explain, alright, so before reading this, I had no idea what that was. So demisexual, somebody made that up. So if you're a moral person and you get to know somebody kind of and develop feelings, that's just like a moral sexuality, normal, close, like we're not creatures, we're not animals. But the person who came up with that believes we are animals and don't believe in morality. They just believe in choices. So they made a sexuality for just moral sexual behavior. Neat, huh? Jon Stewart returning to The Daily Show as a host and executive producer. And apparently he's only going to be on Mondays. He's going to do one day a week. And I heard some people on the right saying, oh, this is just they're all nervous about Trump, so they're calling Stewart out so he can make jokes. It's like, well, then why would he only be doing it one day a week? Like, I think they just aren't funny. They don't know how to make anything. He used to be funny at one point, and maybe they're trying to see if they can coax that out of him again. But probably not. So probably swinging a miss. I do my job. Walmart greeter gains TikTok fame after radiating positivity. Monroe, Louisiana. A Walmart greeter in Louisiana has captured the hearts of more than 1 million viewers on TikTok. Mr. John became somewhat TikTok famous when a video of him expressing his dedication to his job went viral on social media platform. Let's...
Tell him again, Mr. John. What
I'm
is
on the dope.
When you on the dope, Mr. John?
Rain or sleet or snow, I'm on the dope.
You do your job.
I do my job.
And you do it well.
And I try to do it well.
No, you don't try. You do it.
I do it. That's all.
Tell him again,
Tell
Mr.
him
John.
again. That's right. Rain or sleet or snow, I'm on the dope. I do my job.
I just gave him another view, I guess.
Never been more sure of anything.
That sounded like the other guy was messing with him. All right. St. Louis County Library is bringing RuPaul. All right, so I just cut that. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. St. Louis County Library is bringing RuPaul here. That's a weird way to write that. To talk books. The most famous drag queen in America is being brought to a library. Why? So Amazon Prime is a new animated series about heaven, hell, and how the devil's actually the good guy. And this is some kind of spawn off of, like, I guess it was like a YouTube show or channel or something. Initially. It's like a, and it's like the daughter of Satan and Lilith, the alleged first woman in the Bible. But anyway, this is the daughter. When she was exiled from the Garden of Eden, Lilith and Satan got together, and this was their child. Still a child after all this time. Why is something about getting people out of hell? I mean, and I know a lot of people are going to watch it who don't believe in God. They're going to be like, hey, it's good. Yeah, or not. But understand this. You may not believe in God. I do. There are people who believe in God, though, that are not on his side and believe in God. And you better believe that. And I mean, furthermore, another thing, our founding fathers said that our founding fathers believe, our country was established on the belief that there are rights that were given to us by God and cannot be taken away by government. There is a party that recently took any mention of God from the party platform. Do your research, find out who it is. And the other one isn't much better. But there's a party that doesn't believe in God. I mean, there's a few people in that party that say they do. They don't govern that way. They don't rule that way. Nothing is godly about them. So they're not going to respect our rights that we believe are God-given when there is no God. They don't believe God gave us rights because they don't believe God. So whether you believe in God or not, you better see who the good guys are in society. If there is a God, then there are God-given rights. If there is no God, whoever's in control controls you. God sets you free. People think it's oppressive. You don't understand. I mean, there's certain things you change, but you don't change because you necessarily even have to. Once you once you get it, it's in your heart. You change because you want to. A good belief, filled with the Holy Spirit, I guess. You call, I don't know. I mean, don't really understand the Holy Spirit thing too much, but it sets you free. God sets you free. Believe that. So that's all I got for today. Thank you. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. I appreciate it. Till next time, I'll see you.
Did you want to talk about the weather, or were you just making chit-chat?
Chit-chat.
Okay. See you later. Bye.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.